I bought wine here today. Yeah, of course. I think we're trying to find it. What? Yeah. You know what?
Oh, I don't know. I tried.
It is my pleasure to welcome you all to Dutchess County Executive Serino's 2024 State of the County Address. At this point, I'm going to point out our emergency exits. Please take note. And I'm also going to ask if you have not already, please mute your cell phones. We have several elected officials with us this evening. Please stand to be recognized when your name is announced. For the purposes of time, we'll ask the audience, please hold your applause until the end. Congressman Pat Ryan, represented by Destiny Halligan. New York State Senator Michelle Hinchy. New York State Senator Robert Rollison. New York State Assembly Member Anil Beeple. New York State Assembly Member Dee Dee Barrett, represented by Nicholas Becker. Our countywide elected officials, District Attorney Anthony Parisi. County Clerk Brad Kendall. County Comptroller Greg Pulver. County Sheriff Kirk Imperiato. Family Court Judge the Honorable Tracy McKenzie. Family Court Judge the Honorable Denise Watson. You may join me in applauding. Now please join me in welcoming members of the Dutchess County Legislature, led by Chairman William Truitt. Please stand to be recognized. We are also joined by supervisors and mayors from throughout Dutchess County, as well as members of the judiciary. Please join me in welcoming them. We begin our program tonight with your host for this evening, Red Hook Central School District Superintendent, Dr. Jana Warden.
In the grand scheme of our world, few endeavors have such profound effect as enriching the lives of children. The essence of this Performing Arts Center deeply resonates with the notion of providing a well-rounded education that encouraged creativity, and most important, nurtures the passions of our students. As you can see, our students' artwork, the piano playing, as well as the achievements of our tech program, robotics team, Future Forwarders of America underscore the importance of fostering various interests and skill sets from our youth. Please stand, students that are here tonight, to be recognized. Recognize my administration, teachers, advisor for their inspiration. Teaching is incredibly rewarding, but we all need to remember to continue to support our educators in this vital work. Anybody that's here tonight that's in education, please stand. So the examples that you saw from our students tonight really talks about the significance of a sense of belonging. Students need a sense of belonging. They need to feel accepted. They need to feel included. These past few years, our students had many challenges. They faced the loss of a vital sense of belonging, leading to huge concerns about mental health in our area. In response, our district is committed to advocating for the needs of our students with support, access, and opportunities for our students to restore that sense of belonging. In this context, we express our heartfelt gratitude to the County Executive Serino for her unwavering dedication to the well-being and education of our children. Her efforts, such as the initiatives of the County Skill Trades Fair, demonstrate her keen understanding of the importance of providing avenues for students that are different and finding purpose for all of our students. Through these ideas, we strive to strengthen that sense of belonging and give that back to our students and ensure that every single student has a future and an opportunity. Furthermore, we commend County Executive Sue Serino for her tireless efforts in advocating for children and express our gratitude for her attentiveness to the needs of the northern part of the county. With optimism and enthusiasm, we eagerly anticipate a relationship and a partnership with her. In closing, it is through this remarkable leadership and compassionate spirit demonstrated by the County Executive Sue Serino, our educators, and our students on a daily basis that we have hope and optimism for the future. Thank you, and please enjoy the ceremony.
I would now like to welcome up Desiree King to sing our national anthem. Please join me in welcoming her and rise. Please remain standing at the conclusion. Thank you.
What so proud
Please join me in welcoming Sheriff Perkin Parati to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please remain standing for this evening's invocation offered by Bishop Deborah E. Gauze.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we gather here tonight to hear the annual address of our county, the County of Dutchess. We are so grateful to live in a country where we can openly pray for our country, our states, cities, counties, and its leaders. Heavenly Father, we invite your presence right now to be our esteemed, honored guest in this room. As our County Executive Serino gives us an honest report of the state of our county, we ask that you continue to give her the grace to face unique challenges as she navigates racial divisions and financial crises and the uncertain path that lie ahead. Grant her with divine wisdom to help remedy our ills and work in the best interests of the people she is called to serve. Father, cause this county of Dutchess to be the leading county of this region. We pray for this county's security and the people's well-being. Cause us, I pray, to treat each other with kindness and compassion and respect so that we may learn from one another, discover our shared visions, and build stronger communities from generation to generation. James chapter 3, verse 17, we ask you to give our County Executive Serino wisdom from above that is first of all pure, then peace-loving, considerate, submissive, full of mercy and good fruit, impartial and sincere. Help each of us to do our fair share and find ways to embrace our differences. Truly, we can give without loving, but we cannot love without giving. These blessings we ask in the mighty, matchless, and immutable name of Jesus the Christ. Amen and amen.
Please be seated. As you may have heard, Red Oak High School recently hosted a production of Chicago, the teen version, and we are so fortunate tonight to have one of the stars of the production here to play a musical number for all of you. Please join me in welcoming student Nora Callahan-Jurgens performing I Have Confidence, accompanied by choral director Matthew Funicello.
don't, I just know I'll turn back. I must dream of the things I am seeking. I am seeking the courage I lack. The courage to serve them with reliance. Face my mistakes without defiance. Show them I'm worthy, and while I show them, I'll show me. So let them bring on all their problems. I'll do better than my best. I have confidence they'll put me to the test, but I'll make them see I have confidence in me. Somehow I will impress them. I will be firm but kind, and all those children, heaven bless them, they will look up to me and mind me. With each step I am more certain everything will turn out fine. I have confidence the world can all be mine. You'll have to agree, I have confidence in me. I have confidence in sunshine. I have confidence in rain. I have confidence that spring will come again. Besides which, you see, I have confidence in me. Strength doesn't lie in numbers. Strength doesn't lie in wealth. Strength lies in nights of peaceful slumbers. When you wake up, it's healthy. All I trust, I leave my heart to. All I trust becomes my own. I have confidence in confidence alone. Oh, help. I have confidence in confidence alone. Besides which, you see, I have confidence in me.
Thank you, Noah. Red Oak is extremely proud of our music program here. Now, please join me in welcoming Dutchess Community College student Robert Bowl.
Ladies and gentlemen, before I introduce our esteemed County Executive Serino, I'd like to share a little bit about my journey. I'm Rob, and I'm currently pursuing a degree in electrical technology at Dutchess Community College. And by day, I serve as a maintenance technician at the gas distribution center. I wasn't sure what I was going to do after high school, and I decided on a whim to take classes at Dutchess. This decision has allowed me to gain hands-on experience with equipment used within the field, as well as open me up to numerous career opportunities. As a maintenance technician, I'm constantly given chances to grow and learn new things. Every day is different, and the dynamic nature of my role keeps me engaged and fulfilled. Sue's dedication to serving her community resonates with me deeply. While our paths may be different, we both share a commitment to making a positive impact and embracing unexpected opportunities. As Sue has advocated for important issues like mental health and small business, I strive to contribute meaningfully to my community and profession. I encourage you all to embrace unexpected opportunities, much like I did, as they can lead to paths you never thought possible. Now, without further ado, I am honored to introduce someone whose journey and commitment truly inspire our County Executive, Sue Serino.
beautiful song. The kids picked that song out to sing for us today, and I can't thank them enough. But I'm so honored to be here with each and every one of you tonight as we present our first State of the County address. Thank you to our hosts, Red Hook Central School District and Red Hook High School, for welcoming us to their beautiful auditorium, and both Superintendent Warden and Principal Roddy for their kind words. And a special thank you to my friend Desiree King, Sheriff Kirkin Parati, Bishop Deborah Gauss, Nora Callaghan Jurgens, and Choral Director Matthew Funigillo. Sorry, Matthew. They scratched out the spelling of your name. And Robert Bull for joining us. And before I begin, I just want to say a special thank you to my family. Like anyone that's involved in politics knows how much our family puts up with. My husband's put up with a lot. So my husband Mark, my amazing son Anthony, and his beautiful wife Kayla are here tonight. So thank you for everything that they put up with. You know, just 2 months ago, I was honored to be joined by so many of our neighbors for the ceremonial oath of office at Dutchess Community College's Aviation Education Center, where we spoke to the theme of investing in our future, our kids. And this evening, we are at Red Hook High School to once again reaffirm our administration's commitment to expanding opportunities for our youth and doing all that we can to make their future brighter, healthier, safer, while setting them up for success for years to come. And I'd like to say a special thank you to my partners in county government. I'd like to acknowledge Brad Kendall, Comptroller Greg Pulver, Sheriff Kirkin Parati, District Attorney Anthony Parisi, and the entire Dutchess County Legislature. I so look forward to working with each and every one of you. You know, when I think about our children and our grandchildren, and I'll freely admit I'm a grandma wannabe. How to do that? My goal is to make Dutchess County a place where they want and can afford to live, not one that they want to leave. It's why I said no decision can be made without thinking about their future and how any decision we make can and will affect them. Dutchess County truly is a great place to live and work, and it's because of the people who call this community home, and our entire team here at Dutchess County Government continues to go above and beyond to enhance our quality of life. But there's always more to do to reach even more of our neighbors. It's why on day one, we created the county's first Office of Community Engagement, and I thank Carly for running that office, so we could create a more responsive government who was on the ground, listening to the concerns of our neighbors and creating active solutions to help solve them. You know, so often we see government just acting in a bubble, or as I said in Albany, in their ivory tower, so out of touch by what is actually going on in our communities. Our administration is committed to meeting our neighbors where they are, because when government is accessible, people are more eager to share their issues and keep you informed on the challenges that they're facing. That's why we will be bringing our mobile office hours back, moving around to different parts of the county to hear directly from you. We'll also be holding roundtable discussions and bringing stakeholders to the table to discuss how we tackle challenges. And I just want to add, by doing the roundtables through the years, I have learned so much, and I look forward to doing more of them. And there is a lot to talk about. There were many projects that began under the leadership of Mark Molinaro and Bill O'Neill. Bill is here tonight. Thank you, Bill. And there are so many ideas that I heard from many of you over the past year that I want to explore. We need to figure out which projects and initiatives to move forward and which ones need to be further developed. And we need your input. Everything we do is always going to be centered around you, the taxpayer. As a former business owner, I knew if I didn't have the money, I couldn't spend it. And I am bringing that same approach to county government. Last year, I had the opportunity to work in Dutchess County's Office for the Aging, and it was a real eye-opener for me, and I thank Todd Tancredi for putting up with me for the year. But I have to tell you, I talked to so many seniors who are living on an income of less than $20,000 a year. Just wrap your head around that. It's those seniors and so many other individuals who are struggling to make ends meet that I'm thinking about every time I'm faced with the decision in the county. I remember what it was like to be a single mom, sitting at the kitchen table, debating which bills to pay and which ones to pay later. And it's a feeling that I know too many families are dealing with right at this moment in time. And when it feels like your government isn't working for you, it makes it all the more frustrating. It's what got me into politics in the first place. We're focused on changing the face of government, which I know may seem like a simple task, but let me tell you, it's a lot harder than it seems. But it starts with treating everyone with kindness and respect. And by being mindful of the obstacles our neighbors are facing and addressing them head-on with practical and common sense solutions. While serving in Albany, I learned how to work with everyone. From serving in the majority to serving in the minority, I learned the best way to accomplish things was to work bipartisanly. Because for most of the issues that we worked on, it didn't matter if you were an R or a D. I learned not to take ownership of my ideas, but rather to collaborate with whoever could help us get it across the finish line. But most importantly, I developed relationships with people and organizations who I look forward to working with again to accomplish things within county government. And right now I'm going to give a special shout out to Megan, Pavan, and Tom for being here. Those are three people that I had the honor and pleasure of working with in Albany, and I'm looking forward to working with you here now in Dutchess County. Thank you. I've learned a tremendous amount over the past few months, and I'll be looking into how Dutchess County government is impacting all aspects of our life. As we continue to map out our vision and apply our priorities, you can all count on the fact that I will strive to make the decision that is best for all of our taxpayers. In times of economic uncertainty, we're not leaving any stone unturned when it comes to finding resources from the state and federal government. That's why we're hiring a grant writer who can help all of our departments in Dutchess County find funding opportunities that can help cover the cost of programs and services and help us bring in additional new resources to help our neighbors. This is an investment that I am confident will see great success and allow our county government to find new ways to help offset the burden of our taxpayers. Our young people have always been a priority for all of us here in Dutchess County. Many people came together for the idea of the Youth Opportunity Union building. But along with that comes a hefty price tag of over $70 million that will depend on public and private partnerships. In the meantime, we are not waiting to help our kids. They need programming now, which is why I love the idea of the You Without Walls program, where we are seeing out-of-the-box ideas come to fruition with community partners coming to the table to collaborate, like Swim with a Friend, hosted by Lakete Taylor and Community Matters too, who offered a swimming, water safety, and CPR program to 26 children and 6 adults, and they did it by partnering with organizations who each offer something unique. It's ideas like this that we need to support and expand on, which is why, as the U Fundraising Committee continues to find funding streams that could bring up this visionary building to a reality, we are making the investment into programming and building on the infrastructure we already have. Together, we can create a network that is by the community and for the community, and I look forward to working with all of you to accomplish that. Our school districts are taking the lead to create unique and out-of-the-box programs for students to take advantage of. And here in Red Hook, They are truly doing extraordinary things. From their Red Hook robotics team to the FFA teaching young people about agriculture, they are showing students different avenues for success. As many of you know, I didn't take the traditional path, which is why I think it is so important to show students there is no one-size-fits-all approach when it comes to determining your future. Our local community is home to some unique opportunities, including the careers and trades. Showcasing these opportunities is so important, which is why I'll be partnering with the Wappinger Central School District to host a Career in the Skilled Trades Fair on Thursday, April 18th, and it will be open to all students and adults also looking maybe for a second career across Dutchess County. I always say, you don't know what you don't know. And I remember talking with youth from Nubian directions about careers like plumbing and welding. Wow, just seeing their eyes light up about the possibilities and the opportunities that could come with a career like that. By having local business owners and industry representatives on hand, students can learn more about the various avenues available to them and start looking into different careers that they might not have even known about. I especially thank our trade representatives and union leaders who are here with us this evening for your continued support and all of their efforts. Thank you. Dutchess Community College is truly leading the way through their mechatronics lab that has become a cornerstone of the Council of Industry's Manufacturing Apprenticeship Program that is providing job opportunities and a skilled workforce for our small businesses. We are currently working with DCC to develop the third pipeline to jobs in HVAC and a fourth in automotive maintenance technician program. We will also create opportunities within county government by launching a county-wide government internship program for local high school and college students to show the role that local government has in our communities. And I can tell you, my time in the Senate, I know Lydia's out here, I think we had over 80 interns and hired probably about 10. So thank you for those efforts, Lydia. But while increased programs are great tools to set our children up for success, we also need to focus on the issues outside of the classroom. And at the most basic level, our children need to be free from hunger to be successful. There are a record number of individuals seeking resources from over 65 food pantries in Dutchess County, a number that's only increased after the pandemic. This affects all people of all walks of life, and is a result of the affordability crisis that has truly affected every aspect of our lives. Thanks to the leadership of Renee Follett-Riccio, Dutchess Outreach, and the United Way of Dutchess Orange Region, we are launching the Dutchess County Food Security Council this year. Thank you. By bringing the right people to the table to provide guidance to policymakers on how best to address hunger, we can strive to improve access to healthy, locally grown foods for all of our county residents. Families shouldn't have to decide between paying their bills and putting food on the table, which is why we are going to work on a collaborative level to help meet this basic need. On that similar note, available, affordable, quality childcare is essential to the well-being of our children, families, and the economy. But far too often we hear from families struggling to find care. And I get it. When my son was young, I opened my own childcare center at my home so I could take care of him during the day while going to work to wait tables at night. We're hearing more and more of those similar stories. Parents or grandparents having to quit their jobs in order to stay home to take care of their children because there's either no childcare available or the cost is too high for them to be able to afford it. And this spring, we'll meet with local childcare owners and industry leaders to identify the areas in most need and the best ways for Dutchess County to be a supportive partner. will bring employers to the conversation to find ways to empower our workforce and find creative avenues to better support parents struggling to fill this need, and even explore pilot programs to find what works. Dutchess County also needs to remain committed to our climate because our children deserve a future with clean air and clean water. We are going to continue our recycling education in schools so we can help show our students the importance of managing waste from a young age. This summer, we will be applying for silver certification as a climate smart community, and if granted, we will join only 10 other communities statewide at this level. It's pretty impressive. But I think, as we all know, without safe communities, all of this work won't go as far. Together with our great Sheriff Kirkin Parati and our District Attorney Anthony Parisi, we can continue to invest in resources that will better assist our dedicated law enforcement officers and create safer communities. We're seeing the incredible work our Dutchess County Drug Task Force is doing every day to take dangerous drug dealers off of our streets. We've been able to identify additional funding to support much-needed vehicles to support their undercover work. You know, there's a commercial on TV that has stuck with me involving two parents sharing their story about their daughter who died from a drug overdose. Thinking she was taking Percocet for pain, the drug was actually fentanyl. And now, because of one pill, one time, her parents will suffer for a lifetime. It's stories like this that make it all the more important to collaborate with Sheriff Parati and DA Parisi to provide key resources to allow the task force to tackle the opioid epidemic. But we also have to help change the dynamic and conversations that individuals have with law enforcement. And thank you to all of our law enforcement that are here tonight and keeping us safe. Launched by Dutchess County in the city of Poughkeepsie in 2022, the Youth and Police Initiative is doing just that, working with our youth by building relationships and creating trust. This has been one of my favorite programs, and having attended many graduation ceremonies, I know it's a program that works. Over 70 students have completed the week-long session, and their voices are being represented all over the state and the nation, bringing their own personal experiences to the table so we can grow and expand this program. But we're not just doing it in the city of Poughkeepsie. In May, the Dover School District and Dover Library are partnering to expand this initiative into Eastern Dutchess. And we are currently in the stages of planning a session in the fall with the Town of Poughkeepsie Police Department. We also know how critical it is for individuals to have a safe and stable roof over their heads, and how a door with a lock and key can make all of the difference. Which is why we are dedicating more resources than ever to homeless outreach and lifting people out of homelessness. Together with Hudson River Housing, People USA's Law Enforcement Assisted Diversion Program, also known as LEAD, and others, we are bringing all of our resources together to collaborate rather than duplicate each other's efforts. LEAD's intensive, street-based case management program supports individuals with unmanaged behavioral health needs and is currently serving 27 participants. And it's a program that's seeing results, with clients maintaining permanent housing, being connected to temporary housing, and entering treatment. And I'm thrilled to say that this year, we will be expanding the reach of the program even more through collaboration with the Sheriff's Office and the Drug Task Force. This spring, together with Hudson River Housing, we will celebrate the opening of a youth transitional housing facility in the city of Poughkeepsie that will house up to 12 individuals ages 18 through 25 who may be at risk for homelessness. Named after an employee at Hudson River Housing, Pat's Place is another investment that we know will make a difference in giving our youth the tools that they need to succeed. than in the previous year, showing us the need that is only getting worse. In the past 6 months alone, we have found permanent housing for almost 40 individuals, but it's not enough. We know our community is facing an affordability crisis, and the lack of affordable housing in our area is making things that much harder. There are individuals living in our current emergency shelter who work full-time, yet they still can't find an affordable place to live. It's why we need to think outside of the box to tackle homelessness, and that includes moving out of the pods and exploring new transitional and affording housing opportunities. But the truth is, this is not an issue one person alone can solve, and we are bringing local stakeholders to the table so we can find an effective solution that will truly help bring neighbors out of homelessness. I recently had a very productive meeting with Governor Hochul to discuss new ways we can accomplish this shared goal. Our community is full of employment opportunities, positions that we desperately need to fill, but we don't have the housing at a price that employees can afford. The county's Housing Trust Fund is an incredible investment from Dutchess County that shows its commitment to growing these housing opportunities right here in our community, and it's something I am excited to continue supporting in the future. By dedicating the revenue from the hotel tax generated from short-term rentals, Dutchess County will be able to further support housing initiatives and projects for years to come. Whether it's for seniors looking for a place to retire in the community that they helped build, or a young person or a family searching for a place that they can plant their roots, I remain committed to creating affordable and accessible housing options for them. But while we continue to support promising projects, the biggest issue getting in the way is the lack of available sewer and water infrastructure. And I know it's not always the sexy thing to talk about, but without it, our communities can't expand and meet the needs of our growing area. In 2017, I was able to fight to include a record funding in the state budget that would help municipalities invest in infrastructure, and was able to secure a grant for $2 million in the town of Hyde Park for their sewer project along Route 9. And here in Red Hook, I thank Village Mayor Karen Smythe for her investment in the sewer district and for recognizing how critical that is to helping our local communities grow. Infrastructure doesn't just help us build more housing. It helps bring new businesses and projects and new jobs to the local area, while adding to the commercial tax base and easing the burden on our neighbors. Like Stellantis, an automotive conglomerate that includes brands like Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Maserati, who is in the process of building out approximately 500,000 square feet of space for a new logistics center in East Fishkill, or onsemi, who is in the application process for CHIPS Act funding for a significant investment and expansion in East Fishkill. And Advanced Micro Devices, an American multinational corporation and semiconductor company based in California, has established a research and design center in Fishkill. And I thank Supervisors D'Alessandro and Albert for their dedication to economic development and recognizing the important role these businesses play. As many of you know, mental health is an issue that is near and dear to my heart, and a top priority for our administration. Having lost my brother to suicide over 10 years ago, it's a loss that I still feel each and every day. I have always been open and honest with the struggles that my brother faced in hopes that it would encourage others to engage in conversations about mental health and break that stigma that surrounds it. I've heard from neighbors of all ages, from our youth and our seniors too, about their own mental health challenges that they are facing, challenges that were especially present these past few years. Now, more than ever, we need to recommit ourselves to increasing and expanding services to meet this growing need. Which is why one of the first steps our administration took this year was to start the planning process for through a reorganization of the Department of Behavioral and Community Health. We're giving both mental health and public health their own seat at the table so they can each take advantage of the growing resources that may be available to them. With our Commissioner, Dr. Santiago Rosado, the Department of Health will be able to continue to focus on critical public health issues like health equity, Lyme and tick-borne disease, and cancer screening messaging, and offer community events like our annual health fair. Ever since my days on the town board, I've made it a priority to raise awareness and talk about Lyme and tick-borne diseases, right, Jill and Ira? And I knew my message was getting out there when the kids started saying, "Hey, it's the tick lady." While in Albany, I partnered with Assemblymember Dee Dee Barrett to pass legislation instructing the Department of Health to create a kid-friendly workbook on how to stay vigilant against ticks and distribute them to third grade classrooms across our state. We're going to continue that conversation by working with our local schools and the Department of Health to get resources in the hands of kids and families and use unique programming ideas to engage in a fun and dynamic way, like through our free Tackling Ticks on the Big Screen event. I always say our personal stories propel us forward, and in 2020, right after the COVID-19 pandemic started, I received a breast cancer diagnosis. I, like probably so many other women here, kept putting off my annual mammogram because life always seemed to just get in the way. But when I finally did, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. The doctors told me I caught it just in time, and after surgery and radiation, I have thankfully been in remission ever since. We created Making the Appointment campaign as a way to remind men and women to put your health first. Whether it's a cancer screening or your yearly physical, make the commitment to yourself and your health. And I hope you'll join us in taking the pledge today. Good physical health is propelled by strong mental health. And our state and federal leaders are recognizing the importance of mental health with record amounts of funding opportunities. Our plan to make an independent Department of Mental Health with Jean Marie Niebuhr at the helm will help us continue access any new opportunities to ensure everyone in our community has access to high-quality, affordable mental health care. It's not just one area of our county where people are struggling. It's everywhere. Which is why starting this year, we'll be moving our annual health forums around the county, making these events more accessible for neighbors to learn more about what we're currently offering and to voice their feedback on where we can be doing better. On that same topic, I am so proud to announce that our Dutchess County Stabilization Center, a partnership with People USA, has become the first licensed supportive stabilization center in New York State. Recognizing the significance that this center would have on our community, I was proud to have played a part in securing funding for this project to come to fruition, and now it has become a model for all of New York State. I want to give a huge thank you to Steve Miggio for his leadership and vision for this center. And thanks to the advocacy of Legislator Chairman Will Truitt, Assistant Minority Leader Barrington Atkins, and the entire legislature, we will also be adding additional support to the recovery coach teams at the Empowerment Center that will be primarily serving young adults ages 18 to 25. Dutchess County is in the process of working with partners to reopen a center for up to 27 individuals struggling with substance abuse. Those beds will provide critical housing to some who may be currently living in our emergency housing in the pods, where their needs are not and cannot be properly managed. Funded by opioid settlement fund dollars, we just opened the first of 3 Oxford homes, a sober living home for individuals in recovery that operates on a sustainable framework. The individuals living there are peers who support and sustain one another, and that supportive environment is what makes it successful. because having someone in your corner can make all of the difference. I've often shared stories of how my brother Don was bullied in school and how those experiences impacted him his entire life. It motivated and inspired me to be a friendly face for the new kid in school or take someone I could see was struggling under my wing. It's those experiences that drove me to create the Serino Superstar Award as a way to recognize middle school students who were going above and beyond to show kindness both inside and outside the classroom. Since launching this initiative in the State Senate, I've been blown away by the acts of courage and leadership students in our community have shown. And later this month, we will be opening the nomination process so community members and educators can share their stories of students taking extraordinary actions to help make the world just a little bit kinder. And I think there's 7,000 words in this speech. It's probably longer than I've ever spoken. Oh boy. Among the issues that remain a top priority, emergency and medical services, or EMS, is an issue that cannot be ignored any longer. But until you need to call 911 for an emergency, you probably not even realize how much of a crisis we are in. The average person will call 911 4 times in their lifetime, with an expectation that an ambulance will arrive to help them through their emergency. But the reality is, it's not always the case, especially in our rural communities. There's an industry standard that 90% of priority 1 calls must have a response time of under 9 minutes. That means when you call with a life-threatening emergency, an ambulance needs to be at your door within 9 minutes. Here in Dutchess, almost 50% of priority 1 calls took 9 minutes or more, and 11% took longer than 15 minutes. In some cases, that's the difference between life and death. I don't share these numbers to scare you or lessen your trust in our current services, but to call attention to how desperately we need to come together to find a solution. Our volunteers go above and beyond to provide this service to our neighbors, and without them, we would be in even more of a critical position. But we have fewer volunteers than ever before, and many areas now depend on commercial ambulances, which driving up costs and gaps in coverage remain. Too often, our 911 emergency dispatchers are putting 2, 3, 4 calls out before there's an ambulance available to respond, coming from long distances across the county and leaving their home base uncovered. This cannot continue. Our team has made it a top priority to create a plan to help solve this crisis, and we've developed a multi-pronged approach to tackle this issue and are getting started on the first step now. We're currently looking for interested agencies who can help fill the voids of service by offering supplemental coverage, and will focus on the regions with the longest response team. In order to be successful, we will need buy-in from all of our local communities. We recognize while the challenges are similar across all communities, there are unique differences in the areas of the county that warrant a regional approach. We will be meeting with the various regions next month to review data and build consensus regarding volunteer coverage, cost sharing, and service level expectations as part of a thoughtful discussion on how we can work together to protect our communities. We also need to empower the shrinking workforce and think creatively to recruit and retain talent. Working with partners at Dutchess Community College through their EMT certification program, we will offer scholarships to young adults looking to start their career in this field, or older adults looking for a career change or a way to volunteer. I can only imagine the stress and challenges that come with this job. We are working to bolster mental health support to avoid burnout with Melissa Lawler, who is our new volunteer deputy coordinator for health and wellness, and we are offering resources including our mental health for first responders training on Saturday, March 23rd. We are reestablishing the critical incident response team to help our first responders cope following traumatic incidents and creating a peer support network. We are advocating with our state and federal partners for critical legislation to help address EMS challenges, and I want to thank Senator Hinchey for the legislation that she's put forward. It's including supporting the New York State Association of Counties Rescue EMS advocacy effort for this New York State budget. We are developing EMS public education, including when to call an ambulance. 1 in 4 911 calls are priority 4, and are often minor conditions like sunburns, toothaches, chronic ailments that should not be tying up a vital ambulance. We will review the whole system to find efficiencies through dispatch, service provider coordination, and partnerships with local hospitals, all focused on our ultimate goal of delivering an EMS solution that is patient-centered, consistent, reliable, affordable, and sustainable. Near and dear to me, our veterans, and I know Victor is here tonight. Making connections and helping our local veterans and families get the resources they need and the benefits they deserve is the mission of our amazing team at Veteran Services. In 2023, our team, led by Adam Roach, provided over 19,000 contact services to local veterans and families from our new convenient location at Mental Health America's Veteran One-Stop Building in Pleasant Valley, where veterans can simply walk in and connect with multiple service providers, all under one roof. The One Stop has been a game changer and continues to expand with the VA administration at Castle Point's new satellite office opening this month. And seeing the way vet-to-vet peer support has grown has been incredible. I was proud to secure the funding for this program back in 2015. As I've always said, it's a program that is truly worthy of every penny. Their work helps our heroes connect and support one another to overcome challenges only fellow veterans can truly understand. With Mental Health America, we are making sure every veteran has a place to call home, maintaining functional zero veteran homelessness status, with more than 70 veterans being helped last year. And we are making sure veterans get to medical appointments with nearly 200 rides given through Hudson River Housing's Vet Zero Ride program, and we are excited to grow ride-sharing opportunities. I want to thank Krista Hines for being here tonight from Hudson River Housing. Support and camaraderie is so important for our veterans, and I look forward to continuing to host events like the Veterans Appreciation Pasta Dinners, Red, White, and You Picnic, and so much more. And September 18th to the 22nd, we are so honored to present a touching tribute to our Vietnam War veterans at Bowdoin Park, showcasing a traveling memorial wall. This is yet another way for all of us to come together to remind our local seniors of the incredibly grateful community they have behind them. God bless each and every one of them. As many of you know, I am so passionate about helping our seniors. My son's going to kill me for this one, but my son used to joke that senior and Serino have the same letters, and I would say, Mom, it's your destiny to help them. Well, guess what, kiddo? I'm a senior now. Last year, I had the opportunity to actually work in Office for the Aging, getting a unique look at the important work they do each and every day. It was actually mind-blowing. You know, I was chair of aging for the first 4 years, and then the ranker, and I still did not know all of the services that our Office for the Aging supplies for our seniors. Their compassion that their team shows is unmatched, and the impact that they make through their various programs are evident. We launched our Friendly Calls program, creating a volunteer system to check in with local seniors. As we saw during the pandemic, isolation is a serious issue for our seniors, especially those that are homebound. I saw firsthand the impact this program has made in the lives of both those receiving calls and those making calls. And often, those on the receiving end now take the volunteer training and they started making calls, which I've called the Buddy program. It's pretty amazing. Starting next month, I'll be returning to Office for the Aging and senior friendship centers across Dutchess County to host our own mobile office hours. And I'm so excited to continue to have the opportunity to hear directly from our seniors. We'll also be hosting the Golden Gathering event with Senator Rob Rollison this September at Arlington High School, as we hope to connect seniors with different services available to them here in our local community. You know, there's about 1,000 seniors go to that event and caregivers, and there's 100 vendor tables with all kinds of resources. We're also going to be launching a Facebook page specifically for Office for the Aging to help spread the word about the extraordinary programs they host. So many caregivers and seniors are engaged with Facebook, and we are hopeful that this new page will help us to connect with more neighbors who might not know about OFA yet. I've heard from countless seniors about how difficult it can be when they no longer drive, specifically when it comes to finding rides to medical appointments. Office for the Aging's partnership with GoGo Technologies has been an invaluable resource by making it easier to schedule reliable rides to and from their doctor's appointments and ensures they are getting the care that they need. Thanks to a new grant, we'll be expanding access to this great service. We know finding accessible transportation is a challenge, especially in our rural communities. So our administration is thinking outside of the box to find possible solutions, so stay tuned. While our Office for the Aging hosts a dynamic lineup of programs, there are some seniors still looking for more. Not ready to fully retire, they're looking for a way to put their skills to good use, which is why we'll be working with partners to find additional ways for seniors to enter the workforce again. And I want to do a seniors trade event. Isn't that great? And again, you don't know what you don't know. And last year, after an engaging conversation with Taconic Resources, a concept emerged that we're calling Think Accessible. And I'd like to thank Lisa Tarracon from Taconic Resources for being here tonight. She really opened my eyes to what's going on. We'll be launching this under the Think Differently umbrella with the goal of creating a public awareness campaign for those with physical disabilities and to increase outreach. I am grateful to our former county executive and now Congressman Mark Molinaro for his incredible advocacy and providing a voice for those with disabilities. We hope to partner with our business community to create an initiative that would help them make their businesses more accessible for all ages and abilities. And we'll work to solidify partnerships with providers to help find placement opportunities in both county government and local businesses. Like I said in the beginning, the state of our county is strong, but I am even more hopeful for the future. I want to thank you for the trust that you've placed in me to help lead our county forward and expand opportunities for all of us. Our community truly is a great place to live and work, and by working together, I know we can do so much more. Thank you all for joining me tonight. Thank you, everyone. I made it through 7,000 words. So much for bearing with me.